everyone. Welcome back to the next lecture, that is lecture 8, or let's say day 8. There are a couple of things that we will be learning, although some of the concepts you'll find that some of the concepts has been covered already in a certain way. Right now we'll learn how to write codes based on that. So I'm really excited as always. So let's just dive into it. So if you can see in front of your screen, we have identifying missing data using null function and not null. This is the objective that we want to cover, right? And you remember when we were using SweetWiz, you were able to quickly understand what are some of the columns where data is missing. So is null and not null is something that you can easily do using SweetWiz as well, but it is necessary for you to know the basics also, right? So we'll do it. All of this can be done using pandas library. So I will import pandas library for now. Import pandas pd. If we have anything else, I will cover up it later. Whenever I will import the entire library. For now, we understood how we can create a data frame. Let's say a very random numbers, but let's try to understand how we can create dictionaries. Right now, dictionaries. Let's say okay. If I have to explain you data, and we write these curly brackets, right? These two highlighted, and under this, these are the arguments that I'm giving, right? So this is the first library, this is the second library, and this is the third library. So this is the column name, age, and city. These are the column names, these three, and under that we have these values. So the first column is a name, and the first value is Elise, Bob, Charlie, David, Eva, and this is the age that we have. And city, they are living in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, and Phoenix, right? So if you are able to imagine an Excel data frame, that's exactly what we are doing right now, right? And after creating a dictionary, as always, as exactly how we did it in our scenario, but in our last example, we were creating data using NumPy. We'll actually do something similar, but will not give any name to the columns because that is something that we have already given, right? So we'll just write pd data frame, and I want the data, whatever dictionary I have created as, I've named the dictionary as data. I want the entire thing to be used as a data frame, right? So I'll do that, and I have my dataset completed. So what we did till now is we created a library. We imported a library and we created a data which we are able to visualize. If you have to see, there are like 5 rows only if you are excluding the name of the column as a row, and the codes are very small. They're like not a lot of code that you have to write, but sometimes you might be confused with them, and that's why I've taken a lot of examples of how to do row lock, how to do subset lock, and how to do work with iLock. What is the difference between iLock and lock, right? So advanced indexing using lock to select rows of a label. So let's say I want to see the first 2 rows, the second row, that is Charlie, right? So the first row is 0, second row is row 1, and third row is row 2, if you remember, because the index numbers start with 0 in our case, right? So you can see if I'm writing this code where I'm like row lock and give me df.loc, right? In that case, we have subset underscore lock, right? And then we have, then we have subset lock, and under subset lock we have df lock, where we want from row 1 to row 3. That is skipping the first one, that is Elise. We are going to see 1, 2, 3. Right, will not have Eva. So let's see what will happen if we are going to do work around with these two. Also, the second argument that I have given is that I want only name and city of these 3 rows that I'm getting. So let's see how this is working. Second row was Charlie. The age of Charlie is 22, and he is living in Chicago, right? And the name is, let's say, because you wanted 2, lock is 2. We are able to get 2 here. Right. And the second was subset lock. Now if you see the answer subset selected with lock, I'm getting Bob, Charlie, and David. First row, last row is being neglected here, just the way I was telling. When name and city as the only column that we're getting. So this is the column argument, this is the row argument. So row is given first, and then the column is given. How we use ilog? Ilog is majorly used to get, let's say, a positional based indexing. So as always, we will be using this for rows, the first 3 rows, right? And then we want ages of Alice and Bob, because you know, this is column 0, column 1 and column 2, and column 1 is age, right? So we want ages of the first 2 rows, that is Alice and Bob. That would be 24 and 27. Let's see if that's what we are getting here also. Yep. Alice, Bob, we're going to 2. Yeah, so first 3 rows was, and then we can get the ages here, right? Ages of Alice and Bob. So if you want to filter the data, we can use it using dot query function. Let's say you have a very big data set, or even in the last example you can use it. You might want to see you know, the total transaction values which are above 30. So what which are the times when the restaurant was earning $30 or more on coffees, right? What's the total sum? So we can do that also using the same function. But for now, if you want to see, we're using data frame only, and under data frame apply the query function, and the age column should be more than 25. That's what we want to have right now. Rows with age over 25. That is 27, 32 and 29. Others were neglected and were not shown. And if you want to see how we can use AND function, this is the symbol of AND and this is a symbol of OR, right? So what we wanted was, I want, okay, under data frame, these are the 2 arguments that I am giving. It's the, okay, if you can see, these 2 square brackets are together. I want the age to be more than 25. At the same time, city should be Los Angeles. Or I want the age to be less than 30, or at the, or, you know, it's not and, so it's either 30, less than 30 age, or Houston. The city is equal to Houston, right? So in this case, both the arguments should be filled together. Although in the second one, using filtered OR, either of this argument is you know, let's say age less than 30 or city equal to Houston, either of these arguments are fulfilled, we'll get the data. If we see how the answer being shown here, you can see filtered data with multiple conditions is only one person who's having age more than 25 and city is equal to Los Angeles, right? Although in OR function we can say less than 30, we had, all of them are you know, applicable in our case. There was one guy who was you know, more than 30, right? But the city was Houston, and that's why we got it here. And that's how these functions can be performed. So I hope you were able to understand how we can okay, we'll work on drop NA and fill NA also, imputations, but in later chapters. For now, just know how we can actually work with logs, ilogs, query functions, right? So these you know, these are the functions that we will be doing with our case studies after this lecture. Thank you so much.